everybody, my name is Alejandro Rodriguez. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about dogs. You know how they call they call dogs man's best friend? They can also be your worst enemy. Listen, I know that there's no such thing as a bad dog, but believe me, I believe in bad dogs. And here's the thing about dogs. You want to know what's worse than a bad dog? A smart dog. A smart dog is a lot worse than a bad dog. I mean, you've seen it. Like, you got police dogs, the canine, all that shit. Like, they're the biggest snitches in the world. Like, they're the reason why 50% of our criminals are in jail right now. Let me talk to you about my dog. His name's Maker. I've been having him for, 18 years? It's almost 19 years. He's still alive, trust me. Only funny thing is, he's in a cone in a diaper right now. He's slowly falling apart. Maker is the so you call Satan's dog. Yeah, I said it. I love him to death. But Maker has committed so many heinous crimes for the past 18 years, ever since he was a pup. He still does. Even though he's like an old piece of shit, he still shits on the floor, he still shits in his diaper, he still dumps down the trash. You can name anything, he does it, trust me. But let me talk about the time when Maker ran away from us. Listen, do not ask me how many times that dog has run away, because he has run away so many times that I lost count. We used to live in Houston. In Houston, we lived there for 9 years, and that's when we got Maker from. So, Maker, he used to dig holes in our backyard. Yeah. Every time he dug a hole, he would run away. And I remember every time my dad would walk Maker, listen, just so you know, Maker's a beagle. These are the most stubborn dog breeds in the world, in my opinion. My dad used to have a German Shepherd when he was a kid, and that dog obeyed him. He obeyed him. So, my dad thought it was a good idea to, walk my dog without his leash. And he thought that the dog would listen to him. But this is how he would talk to my dog. He would hold a football right on his hand, right here, and he would stare him in his eyes, and he would go, "If you try to run away from me, I'm gonna launch this ball at you." My dog would just submissively look at him like that and just crouch up like this, just like, "Oh, okay, oh man, I get it. So he let go of my dog would walk around. He would as a matter of fact, he would run around all over the place. And then when he goes a little too far, my dad would scream, "Hey!" Threw that ball so hard that it hit the back of my dog's body. And you can hear him yell when he did that. He goes, "Roar!" And then, after my dog tries to run away, my dad just, he lost his privilege. He would just put the leash back on him and end of story. But here's the first time he got away. The first time he got away, my dad looked into his eyes again and goes, "You try to run away from me again? I'm gonna launch this fucking ball in your face." And so my dog, looks away, crouches. And so he lets it go. My dog starts running around, peeing all over the places, shitting everywhere, in the neighbor's lawns and everything, and my dad's not picking him up. And eventually, my dad received a call from a friend or someone from work. He answers it. "Hey, what's going on?" "No, I'm over here walking the dog. What's up?" "What do you mean she's leaving you?" I mean, I'm not surprised. You're much of a fuck up anyways. Anyways, he looks down. Where the fuck is the dog? He looks up. My dog, this is how far he is. He is this small, running away. He is already unreachable. My dad has no chance running after him. He is gone. And my dad was like, oh shit. How am I gonna tell the kids? Maker went missing for like 3 days after that. We were scared shitless. And the funny thing is, every time Maker runs off, he would come back with friends to feed. He came back with a pit bull once, scared the shit out of my mom. I was like, what the fuck? Where's this dog coming from? Like, I swear to God, they got a little meeting area where like all the dogs that run away, they would meet in a certain area. And he would just bring one of them home every day. I remember that pit bull too. Like, he was really nice to people. But I remember the time when we fed that pit bull. Well, my mom fed that pit bull, and while he was eating, Maker tried to get in the way, and then the dog growled at him, and Maker just backed off, which is something I've never seen, because Maker's really stubborn. He likes to annoy the shit out of dogs, no matter how big they are. But, remember how I talked about that concept of like, what's worse than a bad dog is a smart dog? Let me tell you a little backstory. This is another one with my dad. He's got the horror stories with this dog. So my dad one morning was cooking breakfast. He was making all of his breakfast. And keep this in mind, my dad has been awake since 5 in the morning and he was working all morning. He came home, it was like around 11 a.m. and that's when he started making breakfast for us. That's when all of us started waking up in the house. And he decided to let the dog out of the cage. Maker just, he just walked around. He would sometimes get in our rooms. He knows how to open doors. And I remember just one night hearing some screams from my dog and my dad. And that morning, I come out of my room and I see that my dad is yanking my dog's leg, and my dog is biting the shit out of his hand, screaming at each other, "What the fuck, Dad?" My dog, he's just like, "Roar, roar, roar." It's like he's screaming like, "How dare you touch my leg?" And my dad told me the story of what that dog did. My dad was starving after work. And when he made the breakfast, he made his first. He left it on the table while he was serving my mom and my brother and I. When he left his dish on the table, he made sure to pull the seats away from the table. That way so the dog won't jump up and try to eat the food, right? Well, you know what this little shit does? He pushes the little chair, he pushes the chair back to the table, hops on it, sits down, and eats. He eats my dad's food like a king. My dad turned around. Que mierda? My dog just sitting on his seat, his dish right in front of him. That's when my dad beat the shit out of my dog. Another story that my dog did that was very smart of him was when we went to a Boston trip with my dad. Keep this in mind. My dad is an 18-wheeler. 18-wheeler. He's a truck driver. He drives an 18-wheeler, and we took a very long trip with him. It was him, my uncle, my brother, and I. And then we decided to bring our dog along because my mom wasn't home at the time. She was out for vacation, and we brought the dog with us. And also, just know this, the trip was like 2 weeks long. That's like I've been absent for 2 weeks from school. But when we finally arrived to Boston, sorry, it's a really funny story. We decided to take a walk to downtown Boston. So we grab our coats, super cold outside. We get our coats, cover ourselves up, and we tie Maker against the driver's seat of that 18-wheeler. And we weren't gonna leave him for that long. We were only gonna be gone for like 2 hours. So we took a stroll in downtown Boston. It was really nice, beautiful. My brother and I, we walked into this really cool bootleg video game store. We bought several stuff. Oh, it was awesome. It was like my very first trip in Austin and I loved it. So, while we were on our way back to the truck stop to meet up with Maker, we hear from far away. Oh, I forgot to mention, we took an Uber. Yeah, we didn't take a truck, obviously. We just took an Uber. And while we were in the Uber, my dad was talking with the Uber driver and everything. They were having their own little conversation. By the time we arrived at the truck stop, from far away, we hear this. My dad's like, you guys hear that? I hear like a truck honking or something, like nonstop. We show up and we see the enormous 18-wheeler that my dad drives, and we see my dog's little teeny tiny scruffy face on the driver's seat. His little 2 eyes and his black nose just honking the trunk. Where are you guys? You guys left me. It was unbelievable. The dog, he cut himself loose from the leash, got on the driver's seat, and started honking relentlessly, trying to bring us back. And also know this, while we were on our way to Boston, he kept honking in the 18-wheeler when he had a chance, because we would leave him just for 3 minutes to use the restroom at the truck stop, and he would start honking like a fucking maniac. And, you know, all the truck drivers were like, kill that dog of yours, put him down. He's too smart to be alive. I'm Alejandro, thank you very much.